1994's Baby Stay Out was way more than a comedy. It delivered endless laughs, sweet moments, and a toddler who stayed 10 steps ahead. But time eventually changes every single story. Over the years, we've lost some beloved actors from this classic comedy, leaving behind incredible legacies that fancies that choose today. Today, we honor 8 cast members who've passed away and explore what they did after their big threnend. Fred Thompson brought steady confidence to the chaotic set as FBI Agent Grissom, desperately to solve that kidnapping case that got crazier by the minute, with clueless kidnappers running frantic citywide searches and a fearless baby roaming the streets. Agent Grissom brought the calm authority that grounded the film, even as the plot spun wildly out of control. Born August 19, 1942, in Alabama, Thompson was 51 when the movie premiered. 94. Before acting, he built a successful career as a real attorney and a political figure, bringing a natural presence to the screen that made his authority figures feel real. He always commanded the screen with quiet confidence instead of flashy acting. Off-screen, Thompson balanced public service, Hollywood acting, and a historic run in the U.S. Senate. Fred Thompson passed away on November 1, 2015, at 73 after battling lymphoma. But his incredible screen presence reminds us that the strongest actors command attention simply by standing their ground. John Neville brought pure to the madness as the butler. Mira Andrews, anchoring a wild film kidnappers, narrow escapes, and one incredibly adventurous baby. Even in a pure slapstick comedy, his presence added a warm dignity, grounding the emotion beneath the laughs. Born May 2nd, 1902, in London, Neville was 68 years old when the comedy premiered in 1994. As a classically trained actor with decades of stage and screen experience, he had already earned through Shakespearean theater and major films. His role was brilliant because he projected warmth, smarts, and authority with effortless poise, while his character, Andrews, showed confidence and absolute control. Neville was deeply respected for his dedication to the act craft. Following the movie, he kept working on television and film, earning fresh praise in hit shows like The X-Files. John Neville passed away November 19, 2011, at 86 after living with Alzheimer's disease, leaving behind a beautiful legacy built on grace, intelligence, and absolute professionalism. Mike O'Donoghue gave us a quick, hilarious cameo as the mailman, caught in the film's A Whirlwind Adventures, just as spiraled out of control. Even with very limited screen time, his cameo added to the lineup of regular folks, hilariously caught in the path of one unstoppable. Around the city, born January 5, 1940, in New York, O'Donoghue was 54 when the film released in 1994. Long before making the movie, he was already a comedy legend, serving as one of the original head writers for Saturday Night Live, shaping its edgy, groundbreaking voice. His sharp wit, dark humor, and absolute fearlessness influenced a whole generation of comedy writers. Though his mailman role was small, his impact on pop culture was massive, and he kept writing and producing for years. Michael O'Donoghue passed away on November 8, 1994, at 54 after a brain hemorrhage, leaving a legacy still woven into Gun of Vision. Joe Pantoliano stumbled through the movie with a classic mix of panic, frustration, and incredible physical comedy that made his character, Norby, completely unforgettable. Playing one of the 3 bumbling kidnappers, chasing a baby who was always 10 steps ahead, he turned every setback into pneumatic gold. Through all the chaos, Norby became a lovable loser that audiences couldn't help but cheer for. Born September 12, 1951, in New Jersey, Pantoliano was 42 when the movie premiered. 1994, already a respected veteran actor across Hollywood, he brought incredibly sharp comedic instincts and expressive physical energy to the screen. His performance shined because Norby felt completely clueless, but surprisingly relatable, balancing slapstick with real personality. Even though his character got outsmarted by a baby, Pantoliano proved he was one of Hollywood's most character actors. After that movie, his career took off with major roles in The Matrix, Memento, and The Sopranos. In 2026, at 74, he is still one of Hollywood's most recognizable character actors, showing that sometimes the characters who always mess up are the ones we remember the most. Joe Mantegna rushed through the streets of Baby Stay Out, getting more and more frustrated as his carefully planned scheme fell apart. Playing Eddie, the stressed-out leader of the clumsy kidnappers. He mixed desperation and comedy so well that people couldn't help but laugh while everything fell around him. Eddie was the perfect match for a baby who was completely unstoppable. Born November 13th, 1947, Mantegna was 46 when the comedy debuted in '84. As a highly respected theater actor who won a Tony for Glengarry Glen Ross, Eddie stood out because he seemed more annoyed than actually evil, giving the character a surprisingly human charm. Behind the scenes, Mantegna was known for being professional, smart, and totally dedicated to acting. After that, he kept building an amazing career in movies, television, and voiceover work, especially with his role on Criminal Minds. At 78, he is still a beloved star whose work shows how great actors can make wild stories completely unforgettable. Vern Troyer also helped bring some sonic physical comedy to life, serving as Baby Bink, stunt double, as the brave toddler crawled through busy streets, high construction streets, and dangerous hurdles. Even though we never saw his face, his stunt work made us believe that this brave baby was actually outsmarting every single adult. Born January 1st, 1969, in Michigan, Troyer was 25 when the film came out in 1994. Born with dwarfism, he turned his unique physical traits into a huge advantage. Finding success stunts and memorable movie roles, he stood out because it took serious skill, precision, and control to make the baby's wild stunts occasionally. In real life, Troyer was full of humor, energy, and determination, a massive contrast to the quiet baby he played. After this movie, he became a global sensation playing Mini-Me in the Austin Powers franchise, cementing his place in pop culture history. Vern Troyer died on April 21st, 2018 at 49, leaving behind a lasting legacy that proved that incredible talent can come in any size. Matthew Glave brought a sharp, high society charm to movie as Bennington Cotwell, the baby's winning twirl, a loving dad whose life completely unravels the moment his little boy is kidnapped. Behind all that wealth and status was a terrified father driven by sheer hope to bring his baby home safely. His real worry gave the movie an emotional core amidst all the wacky action and comedy. Born August 19th, 1963 in Michigan, Glave was 30 when the movie hit theaters in '94. After training and taking on early roles in television and movies, he built a solid screen presence that made him feel both strong and vulnerable. He really stood out because Bennington felt totally real, showing both fear and quiet strength. Though his character faced a parent's ultimate nightmare, Glave was building a long, highly versatile career in Hollywood. After this classic comedy, he kept landing roles in dozens of hit shows and movies, becoming known as a highly reliable character actor. At 63, he is still part of this classic that keeps introducing brand new audiences to an amazing toddler's wild, unforgettable adventure. Cynthia Nixon brought elegant poise and a gentle, welcoming warmth to the role of Gio Bertini, setting up the wealthy family's world right before the baby vanishes into thin air. Amidst the total air and chaotic search, her sweet presence brought a comforting touch to a movie filled with crazy, unexpected crazy. Born April 9th, 1966 in New York, Nixon was 28 when the film debuted in '94. Starting out as a kid actor in theater, television, and movies, she already had a reputation for being smart, disciplined, and genuinely real. Her performances were subtle, bringing pure credibility and grace to every single scene. While Gio Bertini lived in a world of sheer wealth and privilege, Nixon built her own career through years of true dedication to acting. After Baby Stay Out, she hit global fame in Sex and the City, also becoming a respected stage star and activist. Now 60, she remains a prime example of how talent, grit, and authenticity leave a mark across generations. Brian Haley charged through Baby Stay Out with the frustrated grit of his character Vico, one of those clueless kidnappers whose perfect crime fell apart because of an impossibly quick baby. Every missed opportunity, every painful mishap and growing panic added to the movie's charm, making Vico an incredibly memorable part of the adventure. Born February 12, 1963 in Seattle, Washington, Haley was 31 when the movie debuted in '94. Before landing the role, he built his career doing stand-up comedy and television appearances, and acting work that showed off his sharp comedic instincts. His performance stood out because Vico felt more frustrated than scary, making people laugh at his bad luck rather than fear him, while his character stumbled from one disaster to the next. Haley was steadily building a soliding as a versatile comedian. After Baby Stay Out, he kept working in movies and television, from family comedies to action films. At 63, he is still part of a beloved carving that cinemas. Funniest moments come from plans that go spectacularly wrong. Adam Robert Worton crawled fearlessly through the giant world of Baby Stay Out, turning a normal baby into one of the most unlikely heroes of 90s family cinema. As Baby, he crawled down busy streets, construction sites, and city landmarks with wide-eyed curiosity, forming the heart of a story where audiences laughed while rooting for his safe return home. Born November 16, 1992, in Newark, Delaware, Worton was only 1 year old when the movie came out in 1994. Alongside his twin, Jacob, he took on a role that relied zero on dialogue and completely on natural expressions. Reaction. His performance worked because Baby felt genuinely innocent, making every crazy adventure more known, every close call more suspenseful. While audiences knew him as the kid who outsmarted 3 kidnappers, Worton later chose a life from Hollywood. Now 33, he remains part of a family classic that proves courage really does come in the smallest packages. Lara Flynn Boyle brought elegance and a mother's deep worry to her role as Lorraine Cotwell, a mother whose perfect world is shattered when her baby boy disappears. Amid all the wild stunts and comedy, she served as the emotional anchor, reminding everyone that behind all the laughs was a family desperately hoping to get their baby back. Born March 24, 1970, in Davenport, Iowa. The Boyle was 24 when the 1994. After studying acting and gaining on-camera experience through television and movies, she quickly made a name for herself with her striking presence and nose and rage. Her performance stood out because Lorraine felt genuinely vulnerable, balancing fear and grit, ever losing the audience's sympathy. While her character faced every parent's worst nightmare, Boyle was quickly emerging as one of Hollywood's stars. After Baby Stay Out, she won major praise for her work in Twin Peaks, The Practice, and several hectares. Now 56, she is still part of a beloved classics, showing how powerful a mother's love can be. Everything is pure cause. Jacob Joseph Worton explored the giant world of Baby Stay Out with the wide-eyed wonder that may be absolutely unforgettable. As one half of the twin duo playing the adventurous toddler, he helped create a character who turned every single staircase, sidewalk, and city street into a massive adventure without saying a word. Baby won hearts through pure curiosity, deep innocence, and a fearless sense of adventure that kept people smiling from start to finish. Born November 16, 1992, in Newark, Delaware, Worton was only a year old when that movie dropped back in 1994. He split the demanding role with his twin brother, Adam Robert Worton, helping bring real charm and pure magic to one of the decade's most beloved kid characters. He stood out because the baby felt totally natural, making even the craziest movie moments feel incredibly real. While millions still remember the baby who outsmarted 3 kidnappers, Worton chose a quiet life for Hollywood. Now 33, he is still part of a family favorite that brings nostalgia and pure childhood magic to generations. Thanks for watching and celebrating these incredible, talented actors with us. If you loved this tribute, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts down below. Your support helps keep their incredible memories and legacies alive for future generations.